back to another episode of Young and Extraordinary. We have been absent for a couple of days, kind of going back on our promise, but it's been for good reason. We've been very, very, very busy.
Very busy. So, as I'm sure you guys kind of got from the title, we decided in our furlough, quarantine, coronavirus time off of work that we were going to take 4 whole days and redo our entire patio space. The catch is we basically did it for no money. Which was fantastic and super exciting, and we can't wait to show you guys. I know you guys are gonna love it. It's so awesome, but it was a lot of work. So the last 4 days we've been MIA because of that, but we are back with a banger. We're gonna get into it right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button. Smash that. Shit.
Let's get into the video, guys.
All right, so here is our before space. As you can see, it's kind of just a dingy old deck area. Nothing super special about it. We know for sure that we want to clean up the trees in the back by the table over there, and we also want to manicure the garden bed right there as well. And then we also want to do something with this bench, maybe add a back or something like that. We definitely want to get this wall cleaned up, maybe give it a fresh coat of paint. And then these chairs are something that Curtis has owned for years. They've definitely seen better days, so they need a coat of paint and some stain. And then the table is something that came with the house, so that definitely needs some TLC as well. This is our little herb garden. We want to transplant it into something a little bit prettier. And yeah, the deck just needs a lot of love. It's been neglected for a long time.
Okay guys, right here I just took inventory of the lumber that I had laying around the house. I had a lot of old wood just from various projects from before when we bought the property. Then from there I just took some time and cleaned up the patio. I went ahead and removed a palm tree, cleared out these really annoying little reed plants, so you can see me using the shovel to try to get off the ground. It is extremely difficult to get those out. I got about halfway done and I called it a day because I had 4 blisters on my hands. So right here, I am actually pulling old rusty nails out of these 2x4s. So this is the lumber that I pulled out from underneath the bench, and it's spare wood that we've had laying around from the remodel on the inside. So like we said, the goal before was to reuse as much lumber as possible, recycle, and not have to buy anything. It took me a little bit of time, but it was definitely worth it. And as you can see, I had a lot of different nails and screws I pulled out of this wood. So next, I took measurement of this bench here, and it's 9 feet long, and I decided to put a stud, I guess you could say it like that, every 3 feet, and that's going to be the backing of the bench. So I just use a sawzall here and cut the notches 3.5 inches, because that's how wide a 2x4 is, and use a hammer and a screwdriver just to knock them out. So this is the lattice work that we were using. It's probably been there since before I was alive. It was extremely old, but we decided we were going to use this as the backrest of the bench. So you'll just watch me here pull it all apart and then pull the pieces apart from 1x4s, the lattice work, and then 2x4s. This was kind of a delicate process because the wood was very old and very brittle in some places. The lattice work is a very thin cut, like 1/4 inch strip of wood that's then stapled together. A lot of the staples were rusty, some of the wood was rotted, so it did take me a minute to pull it apart. I didn't want to break anything. Let me get you caught up on where I'm at right now. Been out here for a few hours. We've got a lot of work done. I have a lot more lumber than I thought I would, that's for sure. I didn't realize how much recycled lumber I have. Looks like 11 or 12 2x4s ranging from 5 feet to maybe like 7 feet. Then we have these 3 sheets of the lattice work. Then I have a pile of 1x4 over there also, which will be part of the backing of the seat back, I guess, where our bench is on our back deck. So like we said, the goal is to be 100% recycled wood. We're doing this on a free budget, this many dollars. So we're trying to do this for as cheap as possible. Ideally, spend no money at all. I think we have a good shot at it, honestly. Now that I see how much lumber I have, and I already have the lights and stuff, so I have all the things I think I'm gonna need in order to pull this job off.
Well,
This saw is about dead. Probably because I abused the shit out of it.
you abuse the shit out of your saw?
Thanks, sing better days.
Well, I'm glad it's your saw, not me.
And this is really rough. Salvaging this is rough, to say the least. I feel like I should probably be more precise with this, but I really just don't see the need. Using the wrong types of saws. Seems to cut just fine. Usually you want to use a nice circular saw and measure twice and cut once and, you know, do all that happy jolly shiz. But at this point in time,
Given the materials that we're using.
given the materials I'm using, I'm not going to waste any more time than I need to in order to do this. I think this wood is older than I am. Use this when I put one of these nails through my finger.
I mean, it looks pretty good now, even though it's like kind of janky looking. The rest of the deck is janky, and
Yeah,
it just goes with the jank.
this goes with the jank. So you just got to jank it. Goes with the jank. But it's going to be a nicer jank.
It's definitely going to be a nicer jank. You can sit back and lean against it now.
That was the worst part about this thing back here is you couldn't lean against it. After working all day and accomplishing quite a bit, I got up to this point and called it a day. Instead, I figured I'd pretty much just resume tomorrow morning.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to day 2. We are back at it in our backyard.
On the porch, working in the sun.
So we are in the process of completing this almost $0 deck makeover. We are halfway there. So we are getting back to work today. We're gonna paint some things, we're gonna stain some things, we're gonna redo a whole bunch of stuff, so stay tuned.
I decided to give the railing more of a finished look and take a 2x4, notch it out, and then attach it on top so you can't see any imperfections on the top of the wood.
So we did end up having to take a trip to Home Depot, and while we were there, I found a can of this chalk paint in this gray color that I'm painting on the wall. It was actually a mistake, and Home Depot will sell their colors that they mixed by accident. at a severely discounted price. So I got this little quart size paint bucket for only $2. It was a steal for sure. And then I decided to do a design on the wall as well. Unfortunately, I lost some of that footage, but here is the last half of it. It also got really hot. That's why the wardrobe changed, because it was about 100 degrees this day. We totally forgot that we were out of small paint brushes. We forgot to pick them up while we were there. So I ended up sacrificing a flat edge makeup brush instead. So I did this whole design with a makeup brush, believe it or not. Don't worry, I didn't reuse it. All right, and while we were at that trip to Home Depot, we decided to actually paint this bench black. So we bought a gallon of high gloss black paint, and that covered the entire bench. We just rolled it on with some regular rollers. It was super time consuming, but the end result was really satisfying, honestly. The bench just looked way more uniformed, all painted one color together. We're out here painting, and our dog is living her best life. Living her best life, dude. In the sun, all the way over there, while mommy and daddy work. Hey, are you hot? She's saying, no, I'm just enjoying the sun.
So here you can see a guardrail that I built out of a little bit of extra lumber to go behind my grill, just to keep it from rolling off or anything like that. These are the same chairs from before, just deconstructed, and I painted them gloss black.
For our next DIY project, we decided to actually hydro dip this weird piece of plastic that Curtis is holding in his hand. Believe it or not, when we moved into this house, we had to go to a dump, and I found this plastic thing in a dump. I'm not even sure what it is. Curtis said it had something to do with cement. Regardless, I thought it was really cool, and I had a vision to eventually put it somewhere, but never found a home for it. So when we decided to do the backyard, I figured this would be the perfect time. So I've never hydro dipped before. We kind of just took some spare paint that we had lying around, put it in a bucket, and here we are dipping it. It actually came out really, really cool, but you won't see that until their big reveal. Okay, so the progress as of right now is we've got the wall done here. We've got the grill set up, needs to be cleaned still. We've got this for the most part painted. We hung up these lights last night. And then we've got the bases of all of the chairs painted. And we've got the base of the table that we just painted. It's just drying right now. And now we're gonna start working on this. So this was in our yard when we moved in here, this bird bath, and we moved it over here, and we're gonna get it cleaned up, do the best that we can to try to make it look new, and then I think I'm gonna do something with paint. Hi, Nala! I think I'm gonna try to paint it after I get it cleaned up, and maybe do some funky design or something in the middle here to match the wall possibly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work. So my plan for this, we're gonna see if it works. I already painted the base and I painted the inside. And now I have these paint sample colors that we got when we initially bought the house and we thought we were gonna paint some accent walls and different things. So I have a couple different colors, a darker gray, I have white, and then I also have like some tan colors. And I'm just gonna draw a design that kind of matches the wall that I did.
My plan initially was to freehand it, but then I got a little nervous because my artistic ability is not that good. So I drew out like a really rough sketch of kind of what I want to do. Can't guarantee that it's going to stay like this, but we will see. I kind of just made the pattern up based off of what I did on the wall, just something that would match it. And I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it. So let's wing it. Welcome back to the last day of our backyard transformation. This is day 4. We are tired. We are sunburnt. We are ready to be done. But today is the day that we are finishing, and it's gonna look so good. I can't wait for you guys to see. We got like 2 more projects that we're gonna do, and then it's just adding some finishing touches, and we'll be good to go. For the first project we're gonna do today is Curtis had these stools that have just been sitting in his garage forever, and they don't really get used, so I figured it would be kind of neat to turn them into some plant stands. We're gonna give them a new coat of paint, and then we're gonna cut them down a little bit and possibly add some embellishments to it. We shall see. So let's get to it. No, I'm at a handicap because I'm short.
This is low to the ground. This will put you at an advantage.
No.
You're full of shit.
For the second half of this project, we're gonna tape off the bottoms, which Curtis is starting right now, and we're gonna spray the bottom half of the legs gold. So on the second chair, our goal is to cut it down a little bit. That way there's some height variation.
Past this one. That's what you wanted?
Oh, yeah, right there is perfect.
So move 10 inches.
Hack off some legs.
But if truly you wanted to sponsor us, I'll take it. Fantastic products. Now I'm gonna drink alcohol and use power tools. Sponsor me.
You struggling? Yay! For the final DIY project, I decided to make little signs for the herb garden. I just had these little long toothpicks randomly in the pantry, and then some hot glue, and then these paint samples from when we first moved in. I figured those would work the best since they would be kind of waterproof and plastic covered. I just wrote the names out on each. So incredible. I can't believe we made such a big impact with $32.
Yeah, it was, it's crazy from where it started to where it is now. Hard work, it definitely paid off.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a totally different space. It's super enjoyable. You walk outside and you're like, wow, I feel like I'm in a resort. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, to think about where we started and all of the materials that we used, it's pretty crazy. So think about where we started and what it looked like before, right?
Alright guys, so that is it for our almost free backyard transformation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, smash that subscribe button.
Yes.
Please like, share with your friends and family. We have more content coming soon.
We have a lot more content coming soon, and we're gonna stick to our more frequent uploading schedule. It won't be like a 5-day span that you'd hear from us again. But if it is, just know that a good one is coming if that happens. All right, so make sure you guys subscribe, hit that bell notification, that way you don't miss out on anything. Stay young.
Stay extraordinary.
We'll see you in the next one.